Qualifiers. Florida Mayhem versus the New York Excelsior, Rose. And it's not every tournament that we come to the final day and these games matter a whole bunch, and that's why this Sunday and the Summer Showdown qualifiers are kind of special, I think. Yeah. Both of the games today have been crucial for teams to win. London Spitfire booked their ticket, and now the Florida Mayhem or New York can book their ticket. The winner of today will go to the Summer Showdown. The loser is out.
I think that just makes this match even more exciting, because you're absolutely right. I feel like when you have such a big implications on the day, it just makes everybody more excited for what's to come. So we have no idea who's going to be ending up in that 8th and final seed. It all comes down to this, and both of these teams, you know, they're super hungry for making it forward.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the Florida Mayhem, they haven't had the hottest start, but over the last couple of weeks, okay, like Hydron, he's been showing up. The game the other day, Hydron was just controlling the server on the Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be competing against Flora, who's been mainly running the Ashe as of recently, and Yaki, of course, on the Genji, but that's Checkmate's opposition. Standard lineup, as you can imagine, Sermajed and RuPaul, and Florida Mayhem, and the desk kind of touched on it already, and Danny said, look, if they run Junkrat, if they run something silly, you've got an extra fan in me, and I think that's what a lot of people like about the Florida Mayhem right now. They've shown a... They've shown kind of proficiency on running things that aren't necessarily like the hard stuck meta right now in Sermajed and RuPaul running the Zed and the Ana.
That's so oppressive as well when you look at just how both of the supports interact with the firepower that is available in Florida Mayhem. And that's kind of why I lean in that direction, where I do believe that Florida can take this match if they continue to cyclically play through the ultimates that are available to them, and they just kind of keep doing what they have been doing. Jaws, they put up a great fight against one of the top teams just a little bit ago in Dallas Fuel, and now they just seem to be kind of on that momentum and keeping with it.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep that momentum up. Let's have a look at New York. Of course, they also need to win here to book their ticket to the Summer Showdown. Standard lineup once again, and the team had a little bit of a shape up, a shift up, a shape up, an evolution, maybe. Excelsior picking up an actual main support throughout the season, and Sanjay stepping into the roster, and I was pretty hyped about New York, especially when he came in, because running double flex in this meta, yeah, it's good, but ideally you need someone that can play Lucio at an extremely high level, and Sanjay, I think, is that player for the New York Excelsior. They ended up with a dub against the Paris Eternal the other day, but they have had a pretty tough schedule, and to be fair, in general, like, you look at their overall scoreline for this season is currently 3-14. They haven't hit those highs that maybe some people were kind of expecting them to, but if they make it to the Summer Showdown, they can prove everybody wrong if they go far.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that New York has a lot to keep proving to the general Overwatch League audience, but, you know, especially after such a strong start to this stage too, right, Jaws? We saw them take a huge win and a big upset at the very start of this stage to kick off qualifiers, and I feel like, yeah, it's been a little lackluster since then.
All right. How can the New York Excelsior deal with Hydron? Because like I said, his Sojourn has just been so crazy. I want to see if Florida Mayhem also come out with something a little bit wacky too. Against really good teams, you'd expect them to try something a little bit different, and we've seen that from Mayhem already with Sermajed and RuPaul running the Ana and the Zen, but maybe we see Hydron or Checkmate pull out something a little bit scary. Something Junkrat, I don't think it's going to happen, but hey, maybe on the last day, if you're New York, you're obviously expecting, okay, Mayhem, they're going to run meta, default com, whatever. If Florida Mayhem quickly throw a curveball in there, maybe they've been working at something in the labs, they might be able to knock New York off kilter a little bit.
I feel like Oasis is the perfect map to test the waters with that a little bit as well. You know, maybe we see an Echo here. We've seen a little bit of that aerial unit on this map in particular, and so that might be the curveball. We'll have to wait and find out to see what they decide to flex to, but I'm also wouldn't be super surprised if Florida just said, hey, we gotta stick to the basics here. Let's see how we do in just a mirror, and if that's gonna end up working in our favor. Although I kind of believe that Florida's gonna stick to the Ashe.
Yeah, New York have found the most success with the Ashe, so yeah, it wouldn't make Wouldn't make me too shocked to see Flora just stick on it. No, yeah, no Soja and TP out for the Florida Mayhem. Not so much for the Excelsior. We'll see how that ends up working out speed-wise. Just about even. Just about even.
Yeah, but you...
Florida, though, taking the high ground. Quite important.
Yeah.
Just denying Flora as many like sightlines and dynamite angles as possible is going to be fairly important.
Yeah, I do believe that is the way that Florida Mayhem need to approach this match, but you also have to be wary about New York being able to have so much cover.
Oh, wow. Summer Showdown was on a little solo mission up on the high ground and wasn't able to heal RuPaul quick enough before Yaki hit the reset on him. Yaki with 3 kills in that fight and a quick team kill for New York. Florida Mayhem just got run over.
Well, this is what we need to see from New York in order for them to take this match, is they need to have Yaki and Flora show up today. And at least after that first fight, it feels like Yaki is here to play. Flora as well, just kind of keeping up with the pace of getting those dynamites over the team. I think that the Ashe as well does force Florida's hand a little bit when it comes to the type of supports they need to have, because you want to make sure you have that AoE healing to deal with those Ashe dynamites.
Summerjet went super low. J and Yaki holding down this flank, making sure the Florida Mayhem don't have any too many roads of ingress. So see what Yaki can do, still targeting Summerjet, who's gotten extremely low once again. It wasn't RuPaul this time, it was Summerjet, one of the supports that went down first. Yaki's found 2 with the kill onto Checkmate. Florida Mayhem almost have the point flip, but Yaki's still just frustrating the Florida Mayhem. He's eventually taken down by RuPaul. But Excelsior, with maintaining at the point, 50% plus, you're kind of happy with that. Florida Mayhem didn't have any ults, so they didn't expend any, so another neutral fight coming in. But look at that blade percent from Yaki.
Yeah.
95%.
That's bonkers, but that's kind of the aftermath of having those massive first picks to kick off this match. Now the blade is available. Sermajet and RuPaul are not close enough to these ults yet before Yaki's going to pop the blade.
There's the blade. Commanding shot's already been used, but a sick headshot from Hydron shuts Yaki down. The early ult completely dominated by Hydron as he takes over this fight. Maybe a 4th kill, little cheeky one onto Flora. Not going to happen by the looks of it. Unless tell a lie. No, okay, Kellen ends up going down. Wow, Yaki, doesn't matter if you build up that blade that quickly. If Hydron's got a fully charged right click, it's going straight for your dome.
Oh my gosh, it wasn't even that though too. Did you see how RuPaul also played off of that just to get the shield bash in? Oh my gosh.
Speaking of quick ults, wow, Flora just throws out that Bob. It's quite handily dealt with, and the rest of Excelsior were dead before the Bob even hit the wall, I think, and started shooting.
I mean, that's just also how Hydron kind of carved out an opportunity there. Not only was the overclock such a good response to the Bob because you basically just 3-tapped it, but you also got some really nice picks to stop New York Excelsior from entering back onto the point. And just like that, Jaws, 4 ultimates remaining for Florida. They have the full bank, basically, and last fight is approaching.
Yeah, I mean, this might just be last fight right here. Blade available from Checkmate. Rallies have come out on either side. A beat from Florida Mayhem to counteract that rampage. Cullen's going to throw his in too. A lot of people anti-healed right now, but it's the follow-up that counts. Flora kills 2. Ganonjin whipshot Sermajet off of the map. And New York Excelsior, despite Florida Mayhem having 4 ults, end up coming out on top.
Well, it was the rampage there from Kellen. Just kind of shut down all of the value from Sermajet and RuPaul's ultimates here. And unfortunately, someone's rampage just wasn't quite as big. You still, at least, if you're Florida, have the Dragon Blade to rely on, knowing also that New York Excelsior just expended their support ults. That could be a huge difference maker to come back in and take control of this first round.
Well, Mayhem did end up saving 1 ultimate, and that was the Blade, and Gangnam Jin, the target for Florida Mayhem. You saw them just beelining it. I don't think there's any pill in the world that had saved in there. Archer J is 1 shot, and now he's dead. Hydron scores him with a railgun shot, and even Flora low on the high ground. Little to no heals for Excelsior as Mayhem end up capping the point. It's 99%. Can anybody touch? No, they cannot. And Florida Mayhem playing round 1.
It was really nice patience executed from Florida as well. They didn't throw all 4 ultimates that they had available to them at that second to last fight. And so it did make an advantage for them when they could just pop the blade knowing that there was no really good answer from New York unless Checkmate got domed like Yaki did when he used the blade. But it's another round of Oasis. It's another different style. Florida's going to try to go for the same Symmetra strategy. It paid off, though. It felt like in dividends when you were able to shut down that high ground pressure that New York was looking after. So I feel like this is the right call to just use the Symmetra teleporter and then get the commanding shout out so that you can steal that high ground away once again.
Yeah, there you go. Florida Mayhem just a little bit quicker. But it's quite important on this map, getting the high ground, because you can see what Sermashed's doing right now, just kind of chilling, just waiting for people to come through that doorway so they could boot them off. So, yeah, the Symmetra teleport making the difference there, Rose.
Yeah, look at the agency, too, just to go speed it.
Well, speaking of agency, yeah, Sermashed straight trying to dunk on Gangnam Gym, but it's actually Yaki who's dunking on the rest of the Florida Mayhem. Oh my god, high ground's nothing if you got a Yaki on your team. Excelsior, yet again, it's exactly the same what happened on University. A very quick team wipe.
Oh my gosh, yeah, let's replay that really fast because I feel like you blink and you miss it here. Someone just gets stuck up against a wall and then all of a sudden Yaki's like, yeah, that's some dash reset fodder right there. And so just like that, Yaki's off to a blazing fast start to get this Dragon Blade online, and you feel like you wouldn't fall victim to Hydron again. Whoa, who went off there? Okay, nobody.
I think it was the Lucio. Yeah, I think it was Sermashed. He managed to get back online. Oh, Yaki's so low. There's no health pack. Someone heal him. He does end up getting a pack. He's 50% towards that Bladers. Flora takes care of checkmate, but in kind, Sermashed kills him. Yaki's still trying to find resets as he helps the rest of his team dispatch with someone. And then there's 3 players in his sights, but Excelsior still control this point. If they can find staggers here, that would be perfect. Ooh. There's one. Maybe a second. His Hydron's pretty low. Yep. Oh, good. Excelsior in good stead.
And now, because nobody went down in that fight, you've got the rally that Gangnam Gym can pop really early on, start building up those shields, and then try to go in. Florida has wasted a lot of time here. And so 60% for New York in building when Gangnam Gym... Oh, Ansun Jae also ready with the sound barrier. So even if things go wrong, there's plenty of support on the board for New York.
Yaki with an aerial bombardment at Shurikens there. Didn't end up finding the kill onto checkmate, but it's all good. Rally coming out from Excelsior pretty early. Mayhem happy to just to back off, but they can't wait too long. Ideally you want to wait for overhealth to like die down, but it's 85% and counting as New York Excelsior now have to deal with Florida Mayhem's rally. RuPaul pretty low. The blade is unsheathed. Yaki dashing towards Hydron. He kills his nemesis this time around. Hydra not finding that headshot, and Florida Mayhem have to back up. They've only got 4 members left, but someone has to be able to touch this point. Someone gets there just in time. Bob comes down, doesn't get the knock up, and now Sermashed has to keep the rest of the team in the fight, but he only gets a 3-person beat. Checkmate and Hydron don't get the overhealth, and Checkmate is dealt with easily. Even Kellen holding on to the Rampage. Oh, that's it. Florida Mayhem go down in round number 2.
That was such smart target priority from Yaki as well. Despite the fact that the Dragon Blade only got Hydron, that meant that Hydron was never going to be able to get the overclock online if New York played their cards right. And then on top of that too, when Checkmate just doesn't get that sound barrier overhealth, didn't get the blade online either. So those were 2 massive ultimates that were just off the board for Florida. But another round, maybe another chance here for Florida to take a map win.
Keeping your morale high, that is for sure. Yeah, I mean, taking out Hydron, who was the main crux to Yaki yeah. a little bit ago on University, right? So the perfect pick. Another TP versus commanding shout and speed boost. Yeah, look at that.
Hydron's a tracer?
Infinitely quicker. Hydron may be mad, not sure. No, no Sojourn, no Ash.
Spicy?
Just pure dive, really.
Okay, well, this is the creativity we expected to see from Florida. And it looks like Hydron is just really willing to go in with the Tracer. You know that you've got the Lucio there with you to help get you around the map, but you also have a lot more individual agency as a Tracer because you can just go in and harass the backline.
Yeah, speaking of which, look at that. Flora tried to step up to the plate, maybe actually got dragged in with a knife. He was rather far forward, so I can imagine that is exactly what happened. Florida Mayhem for the first time in this map end up capping first. Not a quick team kill, what we're used to seeing from Excelsior. But yeah, Hydron's Tracer being just a thorn in the side to Excelsior right now, forcing Yaki a lot of the time to use that deflect when he doesn't really want to.
Yep. It takes that deflect away from something more powerful, just like some Cheerios from Sermaj, because honestly, he hits those shots pretty nicely.
I was just trying to harass the Brig. Still, the Brig pretty hard to take down if you're the Tracer at the best of times, especially with the commanding shout being thrown out by Excelsior. He's pretty close to the Pulse Bomb, though, and still harassing the backline. He's going to earn it in just a couple of moments. Someone is super low on the other hand. And yeah, that Pulse Bomb couldn't come quick enough. They do end up trading as Flora goes down. And a good stick, in fact, onto Anson J. Anson J just donated that kill to Hydron, pretty much. A trade still, but this time going in the way of Excelsior as Yaki and Gamma and Jin just keeping each other healthy on the point. It's only Hydron and Sermaj who are both pretty low. And without a recall, Hydron is good as dead. But good stalling from Mayhem as they get 57%.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And especially when you only had to throw the Pulse Bomb out there, which Hydron is going to be able to build up relatively quickly, you feel pretty okay with that if you're Florida. Now New York, though, the onus is on them. They've got the Blade, they've got the Rally, they have so much sustain that they really should be able to take this to Florida when they have the perfect answer for everything else that's on the board. They were able to do this before when Florida had a full 4, so let's see if they can do it again.
There's the Blade, there's the beat. It's going to give time for that overhealth to charge up. But look at Yaki's persistence. Just trying to kill RuPaul. RuPaul's just not going down, though, without a fight. Somehow lived on 1 HP. Had some overhealth left over from his own rally as Yaki is dealt with by Sermaj. Florida Mayhem also holding on to that Blade. Anson J hasn't used his beat just yet, so Florida pretty happy with that, honestly. You can save it, force the beat for the next fight. As now they have 60% and building.
Yeah, and when someone didn't even get a chance to use the Rampage because it's not built up yet, now you know you have it for potentially final fight. Sound Barrier might not be enough to save New York, and especially if someone uses the Rampage after Ansunjae pops the beat, this could be a full team wipe for Florida and a map win. Hydron also has another Pulse Bomb. So if you go after anybody in the backline, then New York's kept a little busy here from healing the front.
He's trying to set up for it. There's the beat, and now you wait for those overhealths to disappear, and then you go in with the Pulse Bomb. I'm looking at Hydron. He whips it out. It doesn't end up connecting with anybody. In fact, a bomb finishes off someone on the sidelines. And now it's just the Pulse Pistols to try and take people out. It's not going to happen, though, as Excelsior, once again, just ignore Hydron for until the last couple of moments, and then end up either chasing him off or just killing him.
Yeah, New York is handling the Tracer choice very well. Like, Hydron, yes, you can go after the backline, but when you know that it's like Gangnam Jin and Ansunjae back there, there's a Brig shield, you could get CC'd away, be forced to use recall, so you don't exactly have the same mobility that you would want to have if you weren't playing against a miniature shield. So Hydron's been having some trouble finding some value here, but it's also not been all for naught.
Oh, a nice Rampage straight to the backline of the Excelsior. Ganajin and Ansunjae are in trouble. Yaki just with a bird's eye view of the rest of his team getting cut down. It's not good. Florida Mayhem, remember, they have 99%. Excelsior need to come back. I mean, Yaki is still managing to stall, but it's not going to be enough. Mayhem are going to be able to kill him eventually and recap that point. And now overtime has been triggered. Kellen has arrived. He's 15% away from an ultimate of his own, but he is so low. Flora jumping onto the Tracer to get an additional touch for the rest of the team. But it is the Tracer on the Florida Mayhem side you've got to be careful of. A Pulse Bomb in the back pocket of Hydron. He does swing and a miss again, but still harassing Kellen down and ends up taking him out. Florida Mayhem with a rally and a beat still in their back pocket should have this one. And more so, a Blade from Checkmate to finish it all. And the Florida Mayhem end up with map number 1.
So cool to see the Tracer pick come out from Hydron. I know it wasn't super flashy. A few of those Pulse Bombs didn't hit their mark, but it gave New York enough trouble that they should expect something spicy to come out from Florida for the rest of these maps. It's going to be a tough battle between both of these teams.
Let's go, Checkmate Junkrat. I want to see more. Just give me more. Maybe a little bit of Farah. Maybe something else a little bit silly. I'm down for it, honestly. Yeah, New York Excelsior unable to handle the Hydron Tracer. We're going to map number 2. Florida Mayhem only a couple of maps away before they book their ticket to the Summer Showdown. We'll have to see how this series pans out after the break. Florida Mayhem off to an explosive start already. Oasis was a 2-1. Look, they got to win 2 more maps to get to the Summer Showdown. Still an opportunity for Excelsior to come back. It was Hydron's Tracer. Although the pulse bombs, I think he hit
One
I think
of three?
he hit 1 out of the 3 there, but still, it was less on the pulse bombs, more on him just kind of annoying Yaki and just pushing the back line of the New York Excelsior to its limits to try and keep them both alive. I don't think New York Excelsior really expected it, and it's good to see Florida Mayhem still kind of throwing different picks out, trying new things, and having some decent success with it thus far. We're going on to a hybrid is our next game type, so we'll see if they got anything more up their sleeve.
Well, I think this is where we could actually see New York Excelsior shine. Jaws, you brought up a really interesting stat during the break. You were talking about how Yaki was able to put in a ton of work on the Genji. Like, what did you say, 5 times? Final blows at
so
one
at
point?
one point, yeah, so at one point on Oasis, near the end of the last round, Yaki had 5x the final blows that Checkmate did on the Genji.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he was diffing Checkmate a little bit in that role. But Hydron was also kind of different Flora in that role, so it was a bit more of a trade kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
well, that's fair, but I think this, like, going to Paraiso, like, this is where I expect the Ashe actually to work way better. You know, there's just so much high ground, especially on this first point defense, that you could really utilize the Ashe to get those long sight lines, those angles, and then maybe that helps to enable Yaki a little bit more, because Yaki was popping off, but maybe, you know, Flora can utilize the just topography of the map to really kind of get a bit of a leg up too.
Yeah, I mean, Oasis for Ashe, especially like University, you're hoping the other team's
tough.
like not running at you 24/7.
Yeah.
You need high ground on City Center, but just the game type in general more revolves around like super fast pace, like getting people's faces, and yeah, hybrids, even like 2CP, which obviously we don't anymore, but maps like that, a lot better for something like an Ashe, a little bit more a stationary pick.
Yep.
So yeah, that is exactly what we are seeing.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, and then on top of it too, though, you know, Florida, they did run the Lucio and the Brigitte because they recognized that they would just have to run at the Ashe, but I think the distance here does make it a little bit harder for Florida to just kind of run up to New York without them having some type of escape mechanism, whether it's going to be kiting away from the damage or trying to play around some of these buildings. Yeah, let's see what they got.
Oh, Kellum was alone on the low ground. Acting like a little bit of a bait there. Almost hook, line, and sinker as Florida Mayhem tried to run him down. A beautiful dagger. Yaki didn't stand a chance. That reflect wore off just in the nick of time as Checkmate just dashed through him and gets the kill. A nice offense so far from the Florida Mayhem, and yeah, this is going to be a cleanup.
Oh gosh, as soon as Ansunjae went down though too, right? Not only do you lose your firepower of Yaki, but then you also lose the ability to disengage from Florida when you don't have that Lucio speed boost. So very, very quick take here from Florida for this first point, and they're walking away with a lot of ult charge too. But still, you gotta point out that Yaki is doing a fair bit of work still, despite the fact that New York is losing these fights. What is going to be the difference maker here? Is it really going to be the Flora versus Hydra, the Ashe versus the Sojourn matchup? I mean, you put some type of, like, I wouldn't call Sojourn a sniper, but she has that impact with the charged up shots. You put something like that in Hydron's hands and like you're gonna be getting value from it. It's just about how New York tried to mitigate that. Maybe it's Yaki keeping Hydron busy.
Yeah, he's not doing any of that at the moment. Just kind of poking away just a little bit. Oh, Flora gets pulled off of high ground, which is kind of annoying, but has got the coach gun. It's a good time to kind of assault as soon as Ashe doesn't have a coach gun up, but the high ground is just almost impenetrable here. His problem is that Flora's just lobbing dynamite after dynamite. Florida Mayhem even have to go up to height or just continue pushing the payload, and it's the payload game that they're playing currently.
I mean,
Checkmate with a little bit of a deflection damage, but that's about it.
Yeah, like
just slowly but surely, Florida Mayhem building up their ultimates and pushing that payload. You see Checkmate's got a blade before Yaki has, but Ansunjae takes care. Oh,
what?
Wow, that was a boop and a half. You see Ansunjae? God, I think he's in King's Row now. He got booped that far. All right, okay. Well, Florida Mayhem now don't have to deal with a speed up of Excelsior, but they're still building up to ults fairly quickly.
I mean, I don't know how that happened, but yeah, you can still stall this out if you're New York. Ansunjae will get back very quickly. Zelucio. And who do you really send up after New York that's going to be sitting on the high ground? Checkmate is Zermajed. That's kind of it, unless you're able to walk up these stairs, too. But then, you know, New York kind of knows where you're coming from. They've really set the trap.
Right, Bob's available. So are the blades. There's the beat. Yaki had to back off. Oh, you really face-checked that straight into Hydron's fists. Checkmate pulls out of his own blade, and yeah, Excelsior support line just getting absolutely rolled by Checkmate. Unfortunately, Bob, you're not doing too much today.
Okay, well, trap didn't work. I don't know what happened to Yaki there. Was it like a headshot from Hydron and then just like a smack to the face?
I think it was yeah, like a not a fully charged headshot, then just like a little left hook.
Like
Rose, you point out the stat that I said about Oasis, right? Checkmate and Yaki. Yaki currently sitting on 0 limbs, by the way, and 0 final blows versus Checkmate's 11 limbs, 5 final blows. So completely flipping the table.
Someone at RuPaul haven't died yet either, by the way. Like, this has just been an absolute roll here for Florida. They're backing off. They know when to take these fights. Look at their rotation as well. They know that they don't want to stay too far in just open space. But, oh, wait, no, there's one for Yaki.
All right. And there's one death for RuPaul. Okay.
Okay,
he's on the ball
a little bit.
yeah, exactly.
Gotta get a kill into someone now, huh? Really even think so.
Well, that's hard, easier said than done. Chill with Junker Queen existing in the front line. Well, the Excelsior have both support ultimates to deal with someone's ultimate. It's where Florida Mayhem end up setting up. It looks like Hydron's taking a bit of a flank angle and, well, someone doing what Junker Queen does best, and that's running into the front line. Nice little beat there from New York Excelsior. It was only one person that someone got with that rampage, and it was Kellen. But he was more than happy taking that one for the rest of his team, as he was both healed up, and he also used the commanding shout. Gangnam Jin somehow coming up with 3 kills in that fight. Okay, just so winging.
That's pretty good there, yeah, for sure. Inspire healing and whatnot, but someone actually got booped away. The rampage fired up, and then I don't know if it was Gangnam Jin or Ansunjae, but someone got booped. So that's why it was only Kellen.
Laura's building up these mobs fairly quickly, I will say.
Dynamites.
Yeah. There's Bob. Here comes that boy. Oh, Samajed. Yeah, he was pretty low. Oh, Hydron with a nice double kill into Gangnam Jim and Yaki. However, Bob's still airing it out. The Excelsior are going to be able to hold.
Okay. Well, I mean, there you go. This has been a kind of a different look on the defense here for New York so far. It's Hydron pushing the cart, the rest of the reinforcements from Florida shortly behind him. But this high ground presence that New York has captured. Look, Flora just used the bomb. These dynamites are doing so much work that Flora's already 40% to another one.
Already.
Like, what? The pace is massive. Oh, well, now he's dead. So.
Well, you can't build out anymore. Not if you're dead, unfortunately. There's the rally from Florida. So they rush towards New York spawn. New York are in a good spot though, really. I mean, if they all reset as 4 and don't die, they can come out fairly quickly. If you get staggered there, it could be disastrous. No one's pushing the payload. Okay, there we go. All good. All good, no one panic.
Okay, well now they're back. And Yaki's got the blade. You really want to try to force this sound barrier out of Zermajed. There it goes.
There's the blade, there's the beat. Yaki low, and he gets put to sleep by Hydron. I know he's hunting. Ansunjae hiding behind the speakers. And he actually kills Summershed somehow. Okay, he was hiding, but he's still finding kills us. And there's Kellen, of course. Here's the rampage. It's large, and they're going to be able to hold. There's only a minute to go for Florida Mayhem. Checkmate's still yet to use that blade. Maybe saw the fight go in the opposite direction and decided better of it. Save it for last.
Yeah, and now too, right? You're kind of up against the clock, literally, because you only have 45 seconds left and this is last fight, but also it's a race against Gangnam Jim and Ansunjae building up to these support ultimates. Flora also, another fight out of the way. He has a Bob online. That's 2 fights.
There's the Bob. He's in the corner, which kind of blows. Flora goes down to Hydron again. There's 20 seconds to go and Checkmate still has the blade. Someone with a rampage approaching. Oh, they know where Yaki is. Nice little bit a deflect damage there, but that wasn't enough to deal with Yaki as he just dashes back to the rest of his team. Excelsior have the points to defend. They're hiding. They're laying in wait. J lets go with a beat, and Checkmate goes pretty low. He's still pulling out damage, though, as he does get packed, and Gangnam Jin's in the front line also pretty low. The rallies ended up wearing out, but it's J who's looking rather bloodthirsty right now. Overtime for the Florida Mayhem as their health bars be dwindling. RuPaul died with the rally available. Can he get back to the point in time? Not likely. Overtime is here, and it is depleted. Just before that third point, the Florida Mayhem do manage to push that payload. And if RuPaul stayed alive and maybe activated that rally, it could have been a different story.
Yeah, I mean, even those last couple of moments where you saw that Checkmate was going after the backline, J was the target. If you're tracking ultimates, you know that at least that sound barrier is online. And so going after J was almost super clutch, because if that had worked and maybe you booped the Lucio up, got rid of the beat, that could have been a difference maker as well. But you got to give so much credit to New York for how they played that, recognizing that J was getting jumped on in the back line, and then Gangnam Jin turned around and Spire Healing helped to keep J alive, the cookies as well. And then Checkmate just falls over. So great response here from New York. There's the sound barrier right at the end of things, and then J too. Oh, right after Hydron.
Only speed, only damage. The true Lucio way.
Hey, I mean...
No heal, only speed.
Well, you called it out at the beginning of the match too, Jaws, is that J has been such a key piece to this New York Excelsior roster, coming in to be able to play the main support, that aggressive Lucio style. You love to see it paying off here when it counts too, to be able to stop Florida from getting the full cap. Now, the win condition is on the board here, and New York just has to get to that check mark. I know easier said than done, but at least they know where that benchmark is.
And a quick shot from Yaki, and Flora switches over to the Ashe. Worth pointing out too, at the end of that round, Flora had 11k damage per 10.
Yeah.
Quite a nutty stat, although it is Ashe, so it's like, okay, Dynamite does a lot of damage, but still, 11k damage is quite impressive. We'll see if he can still do the same thing on offense. Oh, Checkmate. Deflect used already. Nice headshot onto Surmajed from Flora. Another one, in fact, onto someone. Flora holding these angles pretty well, and it's in fact the Florida Mayhem who ended up backing up. Just need to heal up, get ready for the next push from New York Excelsior, but they've taken the high ground pretty fast, all to the benefit of the Ashe.
Yeah, but, you know, Florida can really play around this if they try to play in the building, but not when New York knows that cooldowns are available.
Dynamite, though. Yeah. Oh, man. Even Disruptor Shot, to be fair, you don't really have to be playing the Ashe. You can also be playing Sojourn to get that crazy AoE damage. But the Dynamite in, a quick headshot, and that was that. I mean, Florida Mayhem also rolled over New York Excelsior on their first point hold, so...
Just a little bit of a taste of their own medicine, you know. They gotta dish it out if they can take it. Or it's the other way around, right? Don't dish it out if you can't take it. Yeah, there you go. Well, New York took it, so now they get to dish it out. But that's a huge fight win for them. I mean, Flora as well. Flora and Yaki both are doing way better on the attack so far. I know it was only one team fight, but I think with the eye test as well, you can see that Yaki and Flora are making a really big statement. They're going to have their ults online before anybody else in the server.
Oh, wow. All right, Florida's end up falling over. Nice little Gracie pull onto Hydron. He's sitting at 105 HP still, but yeah, he'll get healed up in just a moment. And with Flora, Excelsior do lose a lot of their damage, so they will end up just potentially getting spawn capped. Bob's out. A flank from Flora. Look at him go. Oh, he's in the corner. That kind of sucks. Okay, he doesn't get the best angle in the world, but Flora does. Yeah, RuPaul does boop him away, but spawn camp didn't really go the way the Florida Mayhem were hoping for there.
Nah, Bob. It was all Bob. You could give all the accolades to Bob now.
Give them all to Bob, but Flora is almost doing 40% of the team's damage. Like, Flora kind of going crazy.
Yeah, absolutely leading the server right now in terms of damage. Almost like, it's 3K over Kellen, and then on top of that too, just... like almost lapping and doubling some of the damage that Florida is doing right now.
Well, he's almost doubled Hydron's damage, put it that way. Put it that way. If he keeps his performance up, he might just do that. Ultimate's online for the Florida Mayhem. There's a dynamite again, but look at Excelsior's ult bank. They got 5, or 4 even. Oh, Sermashed dies through beat. Oh, savage. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Florida Mayhem end up using their own blade, but look at that. Checkmate a little bit lost. Yaki taking the 1v1. A little bit of disrespect from your boy. Second point captured by Excelsior. Sermashed fumbles the beat. RuPaul's ultimate didn't end up paying off.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to see it again. Caught in 4K. Yaki with the dash through.
Oh,
Completely denied.
I don't think it was just Yaki though either. I think Flora hit him with a body shot too, because that dash should not have done that much damage on top of the dynamite. So, yikes, that sucks. But at least you've got an even playing field when it comes to the support ultimates both being off the table for these teams. But Bob's got to do something again, or else, yeah, Florida's going to stall out this next fight. So much time.
Yeah, Excelsior looking like they're playing Overwatch on right now. 6th place. Oh, nice dagger pull. Rampage gets booped! What a huge boop from Unson-J. Someone's ultimate gets absolutely nothing. But Checkmate and RuPaul make up for it with a couple of kills of their own. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go for New York on this final push. Remember, they don't even have to complete. It's just around that last corner, which is where they need to achieve.
Hey, and Bob wasn't used yet either, so even if Florida goes for the spawn camp, maybe Bob gets a chance to break New York free once again. Oh, why was he there?
Oh, he was just trying to go on the flank, I guess, to help Checkmate get some damage, but now they have no Lucio. Yeah, it's a hold S moment for Mayhem. They cannot fight without Sermashed.
No, he'll get back in time though, but it's really about rounding this corner. Bob has so much free reign here.
It's Hydron. Got to start clicking those heads. He's already chased one member of Excelsior back to their spawn. It's Gangnam Gym. You can see the impact that's already having, and Flora and Yaki going super low, yeah. When Gangnam Gym is not there with the rest of the team, or not there for the entirety of the fight, it's very tough for you to get healed up with only Lucio. All right, another nice defense from Florida Mayhem.
Yeah, they've been buying a lot of time off the clock too. That's a minute and a half burned away. That's a couple of ultimates off the board, but the fact that it was only the Bob, New York has taken a pretty strong eco push. They're gonna have 3 ults online, maybe even if they stall it out long enough, Ansunjay gets the beat. So they still have a ton to work with here, and with 2 minutes remaining, if they do use everything, they still might be able to get more online for the final attempt of this map if they do take a couple of L's here.
Small benefit too for Florida. The payload is slowly moving back.
True.
Checkmate's already used that deflect, and he is burning alive. Might get cut in 2, turn into barbecue pork if he's not careful. Yaki sheathes his blade, didn't find too much, but Excelsior end up using both support ults to push on forward. Checkmate, this is your time to go, son. He ends up getting taken out by Yaki. He was too low to actually pull the blade out. And now Florida Mayhem down 3 players, make that 4. As Kellen finds 2 with a Carnage. Excelsior on their final push with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go.
But at least Checkmate can come back out of spawn. Maybe pair this blade with someone's Rampage. That could be a huge fight win as well. In Florida, they got to win this one fight here. That puts a huge momentum stop in New York. But these dynamites.
Yep. Big touch. Nice little boot punch of Checkmate there to push him away, but it's not going to stop him from chasing down Anson-J. Florida Mayhem still holding on to the point as Yaki ends up going down. Okay, Florida Mayhem now putting Excelsior in a dangerous situation with only 1 minute to go. New York have only realistically got 1 fight in a bit, maybe.
If they're fast enough, then yeah, absolutely. But right now, they don't have much of anything. Flora will get the Bob online, but it's still going to take a dynamite and a few shots to be able to build that up, where Florida, they could just go ahead and pop the Rampage. Oh, look. Do you see where he is?
Ooh, well, I can see where he's not, and that's on the map right now. Florida Mayhem have already lost 1. There's 30 seconds to go, and Excelsior are just rounding this final corner again. Bob's about to come online. Hydron needs to pop off. He's popping the overclock, but look at that. Excelsior end up just backing up. Still a lot of damage actually going down onto Flora, and in fact, Hydron finds a headshot on him before he can use that Bob. There's 15 seconds to go, and New York are running all the way back to their spawn as Gangnam is also dealt with.
Oh my gosh, the huge staggers as well. Yaki's gonna go down here too. all
7
hope right
seconds
now.
to go.
Flora.
They can't touch.
Wait, can Flora
There's
throw the
no way
bomb?
they touch this.
No.
Flora maybe throw Bob in. He got RuPaul, but there's no one. The payload shifting back, and Florida Mayhem defend them on last. They are one map away from booking their ticket to the Summer Showdown, Rose. New York Excelsior at the very end. They had 4 minutes going into third, but they just cannot push that payload in.
So rough as well when you know that New York was trying to set up to have the ultimate advantage and the economy just wasn't in their favor. Despite how much work we're seeing the DPS on New York put into this match, it's just been to no avail so far. Florida just having a stalwart defense there.
Flora's on 34-35% of his team's damage, but New York still can't make it. Very, very clutch from the Florida Mayhem at the hands of Checkmate and Hydron coming alive in that second map. Like I said, one more map away, and they got their ticket to the Summer Showdown. We're going to jump to a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll see if New York can turn this one around. Well, Mayhem are one map away from going to Summer Showdown. Excelsior need to show up Nade Sharp right now. Start that reverse sweep rolling. Florida and Hydron, specifically Rose, he's been doing kind of crazy things, stat-wise, I will say.
It's been kind of impressive. Like, actually just not even impressive, like nuts. What is the stat that we got from our stats team? Thank you, Noah. Hydron got elite credit on every death that New York had on the Mayhem's attack round on Paraiso. Like, he had a hand in every single elimination that Florida got.
Putting in the work. They want to go to Toronto.
Yeah.
We are going to Escort. We're going Junkertown. So, again, a little bit better for Florida's Ash. The sightline's pretty nice, but right now, you know, Florida Mayhem, even without throwing the wrench in the gears, or the pulse pistols in the gears, I guess, if you're Hydron playing Tracer on Oasis, they're just beating them in the neutral.
Even when the ults are off the board, I just feel like New York isn't able to capitalize on the work that Flora and Yaki have been putting into this match. It's so difficult to pinpoint exactly where New York is going wrong, but they've got to tighten something up here. The dynamite damage is just so good, but even when Florida aren't running the Ana and the Zenyatta, like the Lucio and the Brig are working just fine.
I really want to see someone jump out on the Widow, but I don't think.
I don't know.
I don't think that's going to happen. Do love me some Widow play on Junkertown. Rather unlikely though.
Nah, I think we're still going to see kind of what we've been seeing. The Ash from Flora. Maybe not though. I mean, ooh, okay.
Wow, he's actually playing Sojin.
I mean,
on a map that I think he would want to play Ash because of the long sidelines, and he plays Sojin?
Yeah, that's...
Okay, interesting. Close hold is better for, to be fair. Yeah. That's what I got.
Definitely feel like the Sojourn is useful for that close hold because of just how quickly you can charge up those railgun shots. But at the same time, you think that the Ash would be good too because you're locking down every exit for Florida. So it's really easy to get those dynamites online. But to be fair, Flora's Ash has just not been the right thing so far. But now that the Ash is off the board, you can run the flex supports here.
Yeah, flex supports indeed. A little Zen, little Ana, especially for the spawn push. The Zen and the Ana go kind of crazy. You can just set up high ground, volleys from Summer Shed's nice. We saw him on Midtown the other day, and his right clicks were quite insane. And the nades, of course, being as impactful as they've always been. You see Anson J, Ganon Jin going super low already. Easy reset for checkmate there. And as Anson J ends up falling, and Florida will end up pushing up. And I can imagine they just stick. I don't think they end up changing off RuPaul, Ana, or Summerjet Zen at all. No, look, they're just going to stick with this. Nano's going to be built up so fast. And they have to drop onto you, remember? And your Ana and Zen can just sit all the way in the background.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of why you're okay with the Sojourn and just going with the double flex support. Because, like, even if New York run into you, look at the follow-up.
Wow. There's a lot of burst healing too with the nade on Ana. Yeah. How do Excelsior really do this now? I mean, maybe Flora gets a little cheeky flank here, a little headshot,
okay.
But no. Yeah, Surmashed could just boot people away if he really needs to. Wow, Excelsior kind of crumbling on point A as Florida take that payload with ease. They take that checkpoint with ease. 5 minutes going into phase 2 of Junkertown.
I think what's really impressive, usually it's the Ana that gets the ult online first, but I'm actually not sure if it's going to be RuPaul or Surmajed. Like the amount of damage that Surmajed has done on this Zenyatta so far is like mighty impressive. Oh man.
Oh, a little flank. A little flank.
No, don't do this to
Flora,
them, Surmajed.
The Discord. The dash reset. Oh, and Unson J is pretty low. Oh, checkmate, and Hydron ends up helping him finish up. RuPaul does die, but Summershed's in an extremely good position. And all the meanwhile, I mean, I feel like Excelsior have just out-rotated themselves. They've just let the payload go. They're determined to get on the back line of the the Florida Mayhem, but it's actually Summer Showdown just flanking, and then they're like, where's the Zenda? Where'd he go?
I don't know. You're never gonna know. So Sirmajan's just gonna like appear sometimes and then go back into the shadows of the map and then reappear when you least expect it. But that is all of point B gone. I don't think New York can come back and contest this. They've just got to take a close hold.
That is a speed run. They gained time there. They gained 10 seconds from point A to point B. That's a little bit silly.
What the? I mean, yeah, like over 5 minutes now. New York have yet to draw the line in the sand. Florida haven't used any ultimates yet. Nobody's using ult. Florida have 5 ults. Like, basically.
And they have Nanoblade too.
Yeah.
Equally scary. A lot of honors at the moment are Nano the Junk Queen.
Or the Zen.
There's the Nano. There's the Blade. Shakemate going in. It's too easy when you've got that damage amp. Oh, Kellen doesn't stand a chance. 2 dead. Well, 4 dead and 5 dead. Team kill for Mayhem. As they once again just disrupt Excelsior's attempt at a defense.
It wasn't even a good time to pop the rally. Like, the best answer you would have would be the sound barrier there, but it just wasn't going to be enough. Oh gosh, Hydron's just going to go for it too.
And you get free real estate. Look at this, the payload does not stop.
It's just a zoning ult too from the overclock. New York just backed up into a corner, and now when someone gets the Rampage online, if New York aren't careful, it's just going to be a huge swing into the corner of the map.
All right, Excelsior got 5 ults online. They've got to use them at some point. Hydron goes pretty low. Double tapped by RuPaul to get him full HP again. Payload still making its way towards that final circle. Jackie's sitting on that plate. They're waiting for Florida Mayhem to maybe do something. Maybe they need to take the initiative. The rallies come out from Excelsior and the beat. Both support ultimates used. Florida Mayhem are split up currently. Someone is fairly alone, isolated from the rest of his team. Florida Mayhem, of course, no speed online. Oh, nice deflect timing. Still gets naded as RuPaul just nades his own feet. But he does get finished off eventually by Kellen. And where's Sermajet? Oh, he's in the shadows waiting for Yaki, but 3 minutes to go for the Florida Mayhem, and the payload is inches away from that last point.
Yeah, I mean, RuPaul's gonna have a nano. Maybe you give it over to someone. Maybe you give it to Sermajed. But now, at least New York, they're starting to get a little aggressive. I think they're getting their confidence back in this matchup where they can take this close hold. Yaki's got the Dragon Blade. At least you know that you can kind of stand in the front lines with the deflect as well. But when Flora also has the overclock. But now what's this? Hydron's on Ashe?
All right, wow.
Okay.
The big soul witch up. Hydron going pretty low already. Well, he was on Ashe, he's not anymore. That Transcendence didn't reach him in time. Anton J was anti, but it didn't really matter. Although it might matter a little bit as New York Excelsior support's going pretty low. And in fact, they tried to run down with the help of Yaki, some of the backline members of the Florida Mayhem, but that didn't end up working out. Yaki ends up dying. With 3 minutes shaved off of the time bank, Florida Mayhem still completing Junkertown with time will be a good thing. And they're in a good spot. Hydron's on high ground now.
Oh, wow. Look, Yaki is just going to switch over to the Tracer. Wants to deal with Sermajed and RuPaul somehow. But Florida already gets so low.
Okay, he's got the overclock at least. Florida Mayhem could just end this quick shot with a nano if they really wanted to, but Kellen just rampages into the backline now. Flora looking to clean people up. A nano onto someone, and Flora saved that power slide right until the very last moments, but now he's in trouble. Checkmate took that under his belt. That was a really easy cleanup for Checkmate as he pulls that blade. The entirety of the New York Excelsior were looking at someone there. They were like, he's nano, we gotta get away from him. And all the meanwhile, Checkmate was in the back, just cutting them in two. 1 minute and 11 seconds for Florida Mayhem. They did enter with 5 minutes and 10 seconds, so that's a good defense on paper for Excelsior, but still, it's going to be a tough time to match. The way this map has been going right now, or the series, it's going to be fairly close regardless. We'll see if New York Excelsior can finish
That's the goal that they have to reach right now. One step at a time. We got to look at point by point, but that was always, it's always tough. It's always tough when you have to defend a point for more than like 3 minutes. Because it's plenty of time for the other team to get through ultimate rotations and then sometimes just overwhelm you if they do get the economy. So that was always going to be a tough battle for New York. So 4 minutes off of that is very impressive. What do they decide to commit to, though, for the attack? Flora didn't touch the Ashe. It was Yaki that decided that maybe the Tracer was the right call at the very end. But, I mean, at this point, it feels like New York's just trying to throw stuff and see if it sticks. Ooh. Oh, was that knife?
Easy knife, easy kills.
Whew. Goodness.
He wins those. Yeah, I mean, Mayhem currently sitting on 25 kills as a team to Excelsior's 9. So, kind of lapping them right now. See if New York Excelsior coming out with something a little bit different here on the offense. Not different in terms of comps, but different in terms of tempo.
Yeah. Their approach has to be a little bit faster, especially when you know that Surmajit and RuPaul are always going to be at such a safe distance away from the team. I don't think it's the call to just try to go after the backline. Surmajit and RuPaul are too mechanically skilled for that to work, even if it's Yaki going back there. You just have to focus on the front line and just try to rush them as quickly as possible. You've got the speed in your advantage. You've got Ansunjae.
Oh, Hydron didn't expect that. The whole of Excelsior rounded around that corner at the same time. Ansunjae pretty low, still takes care of RuPaul. Hydron just skirting away. Using that power slide to great effect on cooldown. All right, Excelsior.
There you go.
That's what you want to see, the tempo plays.
That's what we need right now from New York to stay in this match, to get to the finish line, capture all 3 points, rush them hard. They can do this. They just have to keep up the pace. And two, they've already denied Florida Mayhem a recontest here, so it's still gonna be like a pretty fast take. They got over 5 minutes right now. Maybe even they can go in with them 5 minutes and 11 seconds to point B if they keep this up.
Yeah, what you got for us, New York? What you got for Scan Engine? Oh, okay, well, unlucky.
That's a cute
Didn't
tech.
quite make the jump. Yeah, you can make that jump, but a whip shot will do. A whip shot will do.
Yeah, just get him out of the window.
Oh, here you go. This is what's been happening a lot for New York. Ansunjae and Yaki trying to find flanks together. Hydron not that low. Yeah, Surmajit also just holding down the fort. Those orbs pretty easy to hit when you're lining people up in the corridor. Yaki almost sub 20 HP, escapes, gets that mega health back.
I don't know if this flank is the right call. I mean, it allows you to get the pincer. Okay, then.
It works if RuPaul dies like that, yeah.
Yeah, never
RuPaul
mind.
had the perfect answer to that small flank, just a nade at your feet, but yeah, not if you get taken out by Flora. All right, New York starting to come alive. They got play, they're going to have overclock, support ultimates, looking good. Again, looking like another speed run.
Yeah.
From Florida Mayhem capped with what, 5 minutes and 10 seconds in the time bank, going on to third. We'll see if it's going to be the same kind of thing for New York.
I think Florida's going to try a recontest. It depends on how quickly someone gets back. All right, I see the power slide from Hydron too.
Nice play. Checkmate's kind of alone though, and he's super low. He just gets taken care of easily. Yaki just run him over. And the checkpoint's been capped, yeah, around the same time. Maybe Florida Mayhem were a second quicker.
Oh,
but in reality, same kind of pacing.
I don't know where the defense has gone for either of these teams, but it just kind of went out the window. The staggers onto Florida as well are going to get New York so much progress with this payload. And while we might have had some questions about whether or not New York could make it through this map and cap, they have a lot of time in the bank now and a lot of ultimates to do it. The rally and the sound barrier are just so key.
Well, Florida got the double support ultimates up. Nano Transcendence, pretty nice. Although New York Excelsior using that rally, forcing the issue. Rampage from someone is absolutely ginormous. Again, Jim's rally is not going to mean a damn thing. Neither is that beat from Ansunjae. That's what you wanted to see if you're Florida Mayhem. The halting of the progress on the payload here. Now RuPaul and Summer Jade can set up. Summer Jade use the Transcendence. They still got Nano. Give it to Checkmate. Farm a Blade. Feels pretty good.
Gosh, someone has been able to grab such interesting positioning that New York just seems to be caught off guard by it every single time. We even saw this at the tail end of Paraiso, where like someone was set up in a corner just like waiting in the wings for New York to walk by, and it happened again. New York at least have a rampage of their own, but when you know that you're going to be going up against just all of this burst healing here from RuPaul, and also just the, I don't know, that these haven't been the biggest rampages.
Easy nade onto Excelsior. Summer Jed's in trouble. Checkmate gets Nano, but look at Yaki. Does that and some without a Nano. 4 kills for Yaki at the end there. Jesus. Yeah, breathes a sigh of relief real quick. It's not out of this. 3 minutes to go. They're on the final corner, Rose. And Florida Mayhem use both support ults. They're switching over to same old. Lucio Brig, they're back.
I love that New York keeps proving us wrong. You know, like they keep kind of showing that they've got this. And the fact that they've kind of pushed Sermasian and RuPaul off to switch is pretty big too. Tons of time left.
Ezebay from Checkmate. Flora trying to run away. He's already used that power slide, picked up the health pack, but it didn't mean squat. Checkmate finds 2 with the blade. Okay. Oh,
no.
This is happening. This is happening. No, he doesn't lose to Cheerios. It's all good. It's all good. No worries, no worries.
Surely not. Like, surely that doesn't happen. But yeah, Florida come back out of the gates. I think the Lucio and the Brig just offer way more point presence than the squishy of the Zenyatta and the Ana. So this is the right call for Florida to kind of keep this up. And oh my goodness, the onslaught.
Jesus. Yeah, Kellen got crushed like a tin can in the Mariana Trench there. New York Excelsior lose 1. They do end up killing RuPaul, so a bit more of a forward hold, and Mayhem have to back. There's no way they can fight this without the Brig.
No, especially when RuPaul is so close to that rally too. You may as well be grouped up together once that comes online. But Hydron too could just continue to use this overclock as like a zoning ultimate, as we've seen before.
All right, Yaki, what you got? You got the blade. Oh, hello, RuPaul. Straight in my lying wait. Oh, perfect boop! Yaki's 80 HP. And with that boop, actually, RuPaul did earn that rally. They do end up trading Flora for Sermasian as New York Excelsior use both of their ultimates. RuPaul's ult really only affecting him in that fight. Hydron and Checkmate got a little bit of overhealth, but that was about it. RuPaul goes down for a like-for-like, and Gangnam Jin is now someone trying to hold on to this point. There's a minute to go for Excelsior as they're able to clean, as the Mayhem are able to clean up. They've got Beat coming online, they've got that Rampage, that Blade. This is going to be their final stand. They win this fight heroes and they go to the Summer Showdown.
And they send New York home. New York does not want that at all. They've got to make sure that Flora can get something done here with this overclock. The Rampage too, Kellen hit a really big one last time it was used. Let's overclock first.
Overclock with a nice angle. There comes the Rampage. It hits 2. Flora and Kellen in trouble. Flora used the power slide to get away, but look at the commitment from the Florida Mayhem trying to take him out. He's just refusing to die. The peel's perfect from New York. They're keeping Flora up. Gannon Jin not quite so lucky as he dashes towards the spawn, trying to help Flora. Checkmate pulls the blade with a lot of overhealth from that sound barrier as he's just cutting through the New York Excelsior. There's 30 seconds to go. New York have to go for a reset and have to rely on that Lucio speed to get back in time, but the staggers are too good. Florida Mayhem are now just going to push up.
Oh, why not? Especially when you know that you've got somebody at least watching the payload. RuPaul might even get the rally online. You just got to keep them from touching. Flora on the Tracer might be New York's last hope.
5 seconds to go. He has triple blink. Does he get there in time? I don't see the payload moving. No, Sermasian kills him before he touches the payload. Florida have done it. A 3-0, a clean 3-0 at that. And they booked their ticket to the Summer Showdown, where they can truly bring the Mayhem at LAN. GG's all around. What a series.
What a rough loss for New York, but such a big win for Florida. I mean, look at someone just dancing at the player cam. Oh, so much personality. I love it.
Oh, you love to see it. Someone too had a hell of a game on the Junker Queen. Some of those defenses looked too easy when you had that Rampage up. Congratulations, Florida Mayhem. They squeak in
to
the Summer Showdown at 8th seed. So now it's who picks who. That is going to be the big question coming out of this series, Rose. Devastating loss, of course, for the New York Excelsior, who really had they had a decent start to the Summer Showdown qualifiers. They ended up beating Houston Outlaws.
Right.
Their other win was against the Paraiso Eternal, which was yesterday or the other day. But yeah, kind of a devastating loss, a 3-0 at the end of it all. After some very good plays from Flora, from Yaki, I think they stood up pretty well, but Florida this time around were just too clean. They were just too good.
Yeah, they definitely look really practiced now, and even though they pulled out that pocket pick of the Tracer for at least that one round on Oasis, we still saw some really standard things from them, but I think that bodes really well looking forward to the Summer Showdown about how these different things can actually play together. But there's one player that did stand out above the rest, Jaws.
Yep, player of the match, for this one at least, is going to be Hydron on the Florida Mayhem side. Yeah, his pocket pick of the Tracer was super nice. That was a really sick kill, actually, on the blading Yaki, who earned that, if you remember, or if you just joined us, where have you been? But he did headshot him as soon as he pulled that blade. Yaki put the blade so quickly, and Hydron shut him down. He's been an exceptional Sojourn player and was touted as one of the better ones. When Sojourn was first available to play and she was good, I was like, wow, okay, Hydron's really stepping up. Like, his mechanics, his aim, very clean. It's good to see him doing well. Of course, this is his rookie season too, so always good to get a player of the match, that is for sure. Especially against some of the, you're going up against some of the greats, some of the veteran talent that have been around for a long time, such as Yaki, for example. Yeah. But yeah, well deserving of that player of the match. 55% railgun, actually, not too shabby. 7 final blows per 10. Yeah, that's looking pretty good.
That's really good.
in an entire series. I mean, yeah, the big question is now, Rose, who picks who? The selection show is coming up rather soon. Florida Mayhem, they end up squeaking in at 8th place. It'll be interesting who ends up picking them. Of course, Dallas Fuel end up getting selection first, and then it's going to be the San Francisco Shock. It's always a lot of fun and a lot of BM, so you're going to want to stick around for it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be right back. We're going to jump to a quick break while the desk and everybody else set that up. But yeah, apart from that, that's it for us for now, and we'll see you soon.
빨리 뛰어. 맡겨주시.
I stay point.
돈스 보여. 카메라. 루시 바란다.
I block bottom.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
What teammate is most likely to get on a coach's bad side?
없는데? For sure, Reiner. That guy Parma argues with them and yeah, for sure, Reiner.
레이너.
저는 희수가 장난꾸러기인 것 같아요.
해봤자 저인 것 같은데 다 좀 조용하고 잔잔한 성격이라서 저밖에 없는 것 같아요.
It's either me or Sam because all the other players usually listen to the coaches. Me and Sam are like the opposite. We don't like listening to the coaches a lot of the time.
I think 킬로.
게임 외적으로도 게임 내적으로도 좀 많이 짜증나실 것 같아요.
제가 네.
It would definitely be Reiner because Reiner doesn't even believe in coaching. Obviously, that's a joke. He is just hard for the coaches.
If you had to play one hero for the rest of your career, who would it be?
hard. 아나?
Either Tracer or Genji, I'm not sure which one.
진이하라. Yeah.
I like Tracer.
So if it's not in my role, I like to play Widow a lot because you just kind of AFK and shoot.
저는 손보라를 고르겠습니다.
Definitely Sigma, just because it's fun hero. You can take over games.
둠피스트였는데 이제 아무래도 탱커가 돼가지고 이제는 트레이서인 것 같아요. 전 당연히 트레이서.
브리기테 1등을 찍어봤기도 해가지고 브리기테입니다.
But if it's in my role, then it would be Roadhog. Like I like playing Roadhog a lot, but we almost never play him in the league, so that's a sad one.
팀에서 요리 제일 잘하는 사람은 누구인가요? Maybe Smash, because I think he's the only one that actually cooks.
Maybe Skewed?
왜냐면은 다른 애들은 다 배달시켜 먹는데 주석이 형은 집에서 만들어 먹고 그래가지고 제일 잘할 것 같습니다.
이거는 칼리오스 선수. 제가 음식하는 걸 칼리오스 선수밖에 못 봐가지고.
칼리오스 형이 고기도 잘 굽고 찌개도 잘 만들어요.
This is actually crusty. Always make some food.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Watchpoint Post Show. I'm joined by special guest and the world's largest beard. I got Goomba here from the Florida Mayhem. You guys just got a great 3-0 victory over the New York Excelsior to qualify. How are you feeling about the win?
Feeling really good. It was way closer than we'd want it to be honest. Like, I think credit to Nixel, they could have won any of those maps. Like, two of them came down to, actually all three of them came down to a singular fight in difference. So I'm feeling really happy, but I'm not happy with how we performed. I think we made a lot of mistakes. I think there were things happening that weren't happening in practice. Even though I don't think New York necessarily played that well, I think we could have played a lot better. But I'm still really happy that we're making it to Toronto, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys obviously have been sort of, I guess, the dark horse of this stage, playing a lot of different things compared to everyone else. We've seen the double flex support with RuPaul and Somar Jed. We've also seen a lot of Farah from Checkmate. What's the reason behind this? Do you guys genuinely think these are better compositions on certain maps, or is this just comfort for the Florida Mayhem?
I think that as we learn more about the meta, we started to realize that we just weren't very good at it for a lot of reasons that weren't immediately solvable, right? Like, I think every meta puts different responsibility on different players to call different things and play different heroes. And a lot of that isn't immediately obvious when you watch the players or you think about their hero pool. Like, being able to play a hero doesn't mean you can play it in every comp. Some metas require different people to call, different people to play a backseat role, or flank, or not flank, and that kind of thing. So we realized we sucked at the meta, and even though we've become a lot better at it over time, we just felt like we needed something to bridge the gap comp-wise and create that sort of like almost like London's Spitfire effect of playing off-meta stuff, just to sort of get us to the point where we could be good at the mirror and win the mirror. And we actually won the mirror today, right? But that definitely wasn't happening in those first few series if we played meta. So that's why we played off-meta stuff.
Yeah, and you know, Florida Mayhem in general is a kind of a different team because you guys picked up a lot of players that no one else was really looking at, and you know, your team coming into the season, people weren't really rating very highly, but you guys are now 8-8. You guys have made every playoff so far. Just talk me through your like roster building and how you put together this team and how you think it's going.
I went for a bit of a gamble this season with Albert and the coaching staff. We went for players that had a really high skill level, and we didn't really worry so much about their game knowledge or their calling or even if they spoke English or not. That was essentially secondary. And that comes with pros and cons, right? I think it's a lot harder to work with a team that doesn't speak English, but it helps in game when we win a lot of the fights for free. So that's basically the only thing we thought about is their mechanical skill. And that's the easiest thing to measure when in tryouts they're beating out all the other players, where everyone has no teamwork, no established teamwork with the team. So just really went for the highest skill players. I think that paid off. Even though this is a meta that doesn't really reward that, but we're here anyway. So
yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. So you guys are qualified for the LAN now. As I said, you've qualified for all of them so far. You guys came 6th in the kickoff clash, came 8th in the mid-season tournament. What's your realistic goals heading into this tournament? Like, what are you guys aiming for? Are you trying to go for that top 4 spot?
I mean, to be honest, our goal was to make all 3 tournaments. As a rookie team and as one of the lower budget teams in the league, I think that's a remarkable achievement. I'm really happy that we achieved that, and we've worked so hard to do it. As for the tournament, honestly, I think it's kind of a vacation in a lot of ways. It's the first time most of our team has traveled, just to be honest. Like, most of these guys are rookies and they're getting to see all of these homestands in their first year in the league. And I'm so proud that we've been able to do that. And we've been able to offer that here at Mayhem as well. So usually we go to tournaments with, an open mind and just try and do our best and don't worry so much about the results. Obviously, you get a point for going and you only get more than 1 point if you make the finals, right? As much as I'd love to do that, that's not something we plan around. So we plan around getting there first. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, last question real quick. We're about to go on the selection show. Who do you want to get picked by? Because you guys are the 8th seed. There's a lot of good teams. Who you want to play against?
I want to play against Dallas. I really respect Shock because they're a team that comes in with a lot of counters to what you're playing. They think about how to beat you. Dallas doesn't think as much. And on top of that, last time we played them, it was so close, I think. Like, we're not scared of them at all. And we played them in the Dallas homestand where they had this massive crowd advantage, which you can imagine affects rookies immensely, right? Going into Toronto, I just don't think they'll have that support. So I'd like another crack at Dallas for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we'll find out just a second. Goomba, thank you very much for joining me, man. And good luck at Toronto.
Thanks.
Awesome. Danny, take it away.
Thank you so much, Goomba, and of course, Scott, for the interview. I think Goomba's right. It wasn't necessarily New York Excelsior playing well, but they did try. Yaki didn't really show up. I mean, this match...
You don't get a point for trying.
I don't get a point, yeah. New York doesn't get a point either.
No, not at all.
But I mean, yeah, this match, 3-0 for Florida Mayhem. I think they looked dominant against the New York Excelsior.
Yeah, you really see their composition and their teamwork coming together. You just heard it from Goomba. They started this stage and they just weren't very good at the head-to-head Genji situation. So they did sort of come into their own. They're playing double flex support in a double main support meta, but making it work for themselves. Sermajed has picked up that Lucio. He has the mechanics for it. Maybe a little aggressive at times, but you see it time and time again. They're making it work, even with some strange things like Hydran coming in this Tracer. So, I'm excited to see what they can pull off at this LAN. As I said, this is just bonus at this point for them. They're excited to get their rookies some reps in, get some expertise going in there. But I wouldn't be surprised if they could upset one of these better teams with these different looks.
Yeah, there were so many interesting answers we got from Gunba in that great interview. Great job by you, Costa. One of the things, for example, was that they were focused on picking up players who were just like really talented and good at the game, and they didn't worry as much about communication and stuff like that. And you can see the understanding when it comes to the synergy between these players. They excel at their different roles on the Florida Mayhem, but they also understand like how to work with a different teammate and how your abilities interact with each other. Checkmate, I think, had a great Genji performance, and honestly, I think in many ways Florida Mayhem as an organization, they've sort of been overlooked this season because London Spitfire has been so hyped up, because London Spitfire obviously going through the season were like ranked 20th, but they've had a great season with lots of upsets and wins. And as you mentioned, Costa, Florida Mayhem, they were in a similar scenario where like they were pretty much overlooked because they didn't have that name value to their roster. But this is another great win for them. They're qualifying for yet another tournament. They have individual playmakers. How many times have we complimented Hydron, for example, for his hit scan abilities? Checkmate now with some great Genji play. Someone is a really talented rookie, whether it's on the Jungle Queen or also the Winston, for example. So this is a team that's well put together with very many talented players, and I'm looking forward to see how they develop and as they get more experience on the stage in Toronto.
Me too. I'm excited for Florida for the tournament. I am.
You are?
What? You guys don't trust me?
Well, yeah, you said it with so much hesitation. It felt like.
I'm willing to buy into Gunba.
I'm rooting for Florida now.
I'm buying into Gunba. Yeah, he just was so convincing. It was just like, yeah, you know, like Dallas, you know, they didn't really prepare for us. You know, we got some stuff in our sleeve, and, you know, they're not going to have crowd advantage. And I was like, yo, I'm ready for Florida, Dallas. I hope we get this match
Dallas
later
is
on.
watching this.
Yeah.
Please pick Florida. And I think it's going to be
fun.
very interesting. All right, with that being said, that is it for the qualifier matches for the Summer Showdown tournament. So with that being said, yeah, there you go. Let's look at the standings one last time. We have 8 teams in.
It's actually
Fuel,
crazy.
Shock, Outlaws, Defiant, Spitfire, Titans, Justice, and the Mayhem.
Gladiators and Reign sitting this one out. That's kind of crazy. I don't think anyone would have expected that coming into this.
Nuts. And also, crucially important for Atlanta Reign, because now they're obviously going to lose some league points when it comes to the playoffs later on. Atlanta Reign, they have struggled repeatedly in the regular season, and that's going to come back to bite them when it comes for hunting those playoff spots at the end of the season. So another opportunity for the likes of Washington Justice, Florida Mayhem, London Spitfire, Vancouver to gain an edge there when it comes to attaining league points in the tournament later on next week.
All right, and all those things are going to happen very soon in the tournament next week. So keep an eye out for that. And with that being said, let's move on to the best of the day, because we got some great stuff today from those 2 matches. I'm going to start first. I want to talk about Bob, because Bob is a character in Overwatch that, you know, he's very busy. He goes to many different teams from the Overwatch League.
I know, he gets around.
You know, an Ash player from a team calls Bob, and he comes out. He's always there to support the team.
You don't think there's many different Bobs? You think there's just one Bob?
No, it's one Bob just changing.
Just one Bob. Oh,
Yeah,
so he flies
like
away,
clothes.
swaps wardrobe.
Yeah, so
okay.
here's Hisu calling the Bob, but then, you know, it's like an off day for him. He comes out ready, and then he just said, okay, I don't see anything, Hisu. Why'd you call me? I'm a busy guy. Did you really need me? Here, on this corner.
He's that bouncer for the club that no one goes to, and he's just standing there like, yo, anyone want to know? Everyone, okay, sweet, I'll be here, guys.
It reminds me of another first-person shooter game I played when I grew up. And you just run a corner, and there's like a bot sitting there. It's just like, you know, all clear. All clear, guys. I was like, oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Bob. Clearing the corners.
All right, Costa, how about you?
Okay, I'm up. I'm actually going over to the Eastern region, and this is Izuyaki becoming indestructible on that brig. A hero that he's not really known for, and he just keeps running. Just keep running. So he gets a great whip shot here onto Stalker, pops the rally, sees someone go up the edge, and he's like, okay, well, he goes onto the point to try and give it a contest, try and stay alive, because they're down, you know, this is a 3v4 situation. He's, you know, healing, he's trying to apply pressure, gets away.
Wait, what?
Hiding around, he peeks the corner, there's 4 people coming for him.
Oh!
And he's like, oh, no. He gets a little bit of help here from Vindane to get across the thing, dodges Prophet, and then comes back around. Can't kill Izuyaki, man. You can't kill that man. He's unavoidable. No pit can stop him.
That's a peak brig play.
Hey, I just gotta give some love to brig players every now and then, you know?
All right.
It's not as flashy as... Yeah, what are you saying, all right? You're not impressed with that?
Yeah, no, I was impressed with that. I think it's funny, because you chose Brigitte just like avoiding, you know?
Just run.
For your best of the day. I picked a Genji just avoiding. It's all about avoidance. Bob avoided the action. They have all something in common. For my best of the day, it was Yaki, actually, just now on the New York Excelsior. He actually pulled out a nice blade to just cancel a sound barrier coming in from Thermojet. But then, I mean, top 5 Genji movement. The way he dodges this checkmate blade as well. Look at him go. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Checkmate's lost.
Dude, oh, and then just standing still like that, that's just ego diffing on a completely different level. I love it.
And this is the cancel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just
love
love
an Ajax too.
That is an Ajax.
Yeah. Look at him. I just love like when players stand still. It's like the ultimate like.
Bruh.
Yeah. I love that from Yaki. Great movement. Top 5 gaming movement.
Yeah, all right.
You can have it.
There you guys have it, guys. That was our best of the day, and let's move on. We're not done yet because we have a selection show coming up. So before we get to that, let's take a look at the brackets for the Summer Showdown tournament.
4 teams.
We have 4 teams,
4 teams.
yes, right now. We got the Fuel number 1, right? And then Shock number 2, Outlaws, and Defiant.
Okay, so Dallas goes first. Dallas is going to be the first pickers?
They're going to, I think so. I think Dallas is going to pick Florida Mayhem.
After that disrespect.
All right. We just want to rack out the picks right now. Just guess. Take a
we
crack
don't need
at
to
it.
talk to anyone. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Flip a coin.
Right, well, that was a bracket, and we're going to find out who those 4 teams are going to pick because right after the break, we're going to come back with our selection show. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.